الحمد لله الكريم المنان ذي الطول والفضل والإحسان الذي هدانا للإيمان، ثم الصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده، صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد، الأصول الثلاثة وأدلتها لإمام الدعوة الشيخ محمد بن عبد الوهاب بن سليمان التميمي. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اعلم رحمك الله أنه يجب علينا تعلم 4 مسائل. الأولى العلم، وهو معرفة الله ومعرفة نبيه ومعرفة دين الإسلام بالأدلة. الثانية العمل به. الثالثة الدعوة إليه. الرابعة الصبر على الأذى فيه. والدليل قوله تعالى: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. All praises due to Allah Azza wa Jal, the Lord of the worlds. May Allah continue to shower His mercies and blessings upon us. We thank Allah Azza wa Jal for making things easier. May Allah continue to bless us all. May Allah Azza wa Jal forgive us and grant us understanding and more knowledge of the deen. According to our previous lecture, which was about the introduction to Tawheed, we made mention of the book that we are to be studying under this subject, and this book, the prescribed book, was being mentioned in this lecture, and we made it clear to everybody the meaning of Tawheed and the types of Tawheed. And we said the book is Usul الثلاثة, that is the 3 foundations, by the Shaykh called Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab bin Sulaiman at-Tamimi rahimahullah. His name is Muhammad, son of Abdul Wahhab, son of Sulaiman at-Tamimi. He wrote the book based on Aqidah, the belief of a Muslim, the belief of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the belief of the people of the Sunnah, the belief of the Salaf, that is the Sahaba of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He started the book by saying that Bismillah, and he said Bismillah, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, that in the name of Allah, the Beneficent and the Most Merciful. I'lam, he started by saying I'lam, that know, and this I'lam, it is what we call fi'l al-amr in the Arabic language, that is فعل الأمر مبني على السكون. This i'lam, it is a command upon you the listener or upon the student, and this is to what? Make you ready or to inform you that you should be aware of something. In the Arabic language, it is stated as what? As dalalatu ala tanbih. This dalalatu ala tanbih is a what? It is a proof, or it is a scenario of making someone's, or what? Drawing someone's awareness. So he is drawing your awareness upon something. And he continued by saying that Rahimakallah, this is a dua, dua. Rahimakallah, it is a dua, prayer upon, or prayer for you the student or the listener. And he continued by saying that Annahu yajibu alayna, Annahu yajibu alayna, that it is obligatory upon us, أنه يلزم كل فرد من أفراد المكلفين ذكرا أو أنثى حرا أو عبدا. That the meaning of أنه يجب علينا, meaning it is obligatory upon each and every consenting adult who is a Muslim, despite of your status, whether you are a what, despite of your status, whether you are a free man or you are a slave, or you are what, or despite of your gender, whether you are a male or a female, a boy or a girl, this combines all of us, that it is compulsory upon all of us to know about what he is trying to tell us. Ta'allumu arba'i masail, that for us to know about four issues. And these four issues, the scholars made mention about these four issues by saying that وَهَذِهِ الْمَسَائِلِ الَّتِي ذَكَرَهَا الْمُؤَلِّفِ تَشْمِلُ الدِّينُ كُلَّهُ, that these four issues that the scholar made mention, or the author made mention in the book, or he's about to tell us, contains everything about the religion, the four things that we are about to mention. And he started by saying that al-ula al-ilmu, that the first issue or the first matter is what? Al-ilm, knowledge. And the term knowledge, whenever you hear the term knowledge, you have to understand that it can enter in each and every, or it can enter in so many places. It enters in so many forms of knowledge. We have different types of knowledge, and it is stated that al-kalimatul ilm ja'a mujmalan laysa mufassila, that it came mujmal, meaning general, laysat mufassila or laysa mufassila, not in specifics. It is not relating to a specific knowledge, it is rather relating to all knowledge, or containing all knowledge. So that is mujmal, something that is not being specified upon a specific thing, or something that the person didn't insinuate it upon a what? A thing, meaning they are not certain about the type of knowledge. But when they say mufassil, mufassil is something that what? That is being explained, and that have meaning into detail, and that is clear to our understanding, meaning we know what they meant by the term ilm. So this ilm, the scholars made mention that al-ilmu idha utliqa fal-muradu bihi al-ilmu al-shar'i, that whenever the term ilm, knowledge, is being used, that they are insinuating on what? On the Islamic knowledge, not the secular education, but the Islamic knowledge. And it is stated that if this knowledge, the Islamic knowledge, is the knowledge that they are insinuating on, then we have to know that it is what? It is obligatory upon each and every human being who is a Muslim, a consenting adult, to learn about this. And when they say obligation, we have what? We have fardu aynun and we have fardu kifaya. Fardu aynun, it is what we call the obligatory, or the minimum, the maximum obligatory, or let me say the concrete obligatory. This obligatory is upon all of us, each and every single concerning adult. But when they say fardu kifaya, meaning there is a specific number, or there is specific people, or a specific group of people that it is been what? Assigned to. So when they say ilmu din or ilmu shar'i, the knowledge of what? Sharia, the knowledge of the religion, is obligatory fardu aynun, kama qala an-nabiy sallallahu alayhi wa sallam fi hadithihi al-mashhur. He said that talab al-ilmu faridatun ala kulli muslimin wa muslimah. And the what? And the mufassirin of hadiths, they made it clear that faridah here is fardu ayn, that it is obligatory upon each and every single soul. So, for example, the knowledge of Islam. If a colleague of yours, or a friend, or a brother, or a father of yours is having this kind of knowledge, or acquired this knowledge, it is not upon you to say that I'm okay because this person already have them. No, it is upon you to also seek for the knowledge for yourself. But the knowledge that is not upon everybody is the knowledge of science, the knowledge of what? Handasa, the knowledge of what? Engineering, the knowledge of tib, that is what? Treatment and all sort of things. If some people have the knowledge of it, sakata anil baqin, that is fardu kifaya. And the fardu ain, that one there, it is upon you and you alone to study. Just like salah, prayer, 5 daily prayers, no one can pray. You are saying that this group of people are already praying, so it is okay for all of us, God will bless. No, their prayers is for them and your prayer is for you. So their knowledge is for them and your knowledge is for you. And the book continued by saying that وَهُوَ مَعْرِفَةُ, that it is knowing Allah, or knowing the Creator. وَمَعْرِفَةُ النَّبِيِّ, or the awareness of what? The Prophet, or the awareness of Allah. وَمَعْرِفَةُ دِينِ الْإِسْلَامِ بِالْأَدِلَّةِ, and also the awareness of the knowledge of the deen, or the awareness of the deen. Meaning, this knowledge that they are talking about, it contains the knowledge of Allah, knowing Allah, and knowing His Messenger, and knowing the deen, the religion. كما قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن الكريم, as Allah made mention in the Quran that inna dina inda Allah al-Islam, that the religion being recognized with Allah is what? Is Islam. So it is obligatory upon each and every single soul to learn about the deen. Fadlul ilm, what is the virtue of ilm? The virtue of knowledge. We are still under the knowledge. We haven't started the meaning of what? The meaning of the knowledge of Allah and the knowledge of the Prophet. No, we are still under the knowledge. We have to know the importance or the honor of knowledge in the face of Allah. How did Allah Azza wa Jal honor knowledge? Or what is the virtue of knowledge in the sight of Allah? It is been mentioned in some of the hadiths and the verses of the Quran. But first, let's go with the verse of the Quran. Allah Azza wa Jal made it clear in these verses, or in this verse, that شهد الله أنه لا إله إلا هو والملائكة وأولو العلم قائما بالقسط لا إله إلا هو العزيز الحكيم. That Allah witnesses that there is no deity except Him, and the angels and the people of the knowledge of the deen, meaning the scholars, that they also bear witness that there is no God except Allah. La ilaha illahu, there is no deity of being worshipped except Allah. Huwa what? Huwa al-Aziz al-Hakim. He is the mighty and the wise. So why are we bringing this verse? There is a hikmah behind this verse. Allah Azza wa Jal, He made witness upon Himself that He is the only and only what? God. And He said that the angels, His angels also bear witness that He is the only creator. But after the angels, He didn't mention anybody. He made mention of the people of the knowledge of the deen. This is how Allah honored the people of the knowledge, the scholars. When they say ulul ilm, it means scholars, people with the knowledge of the deen. So this statement, Allah is raising the ranks of the people that He trusts to bear witness of His wideness or His divinity, and He made mention of the angels and made mention of what? The people of the knowledge. And when we take the tafsir of the people of the knowledge, the beginners of the people of the knowledge is what? Al-Anbiya, the prophets. And after the Anbiya, Ashabul Anbiya, the companions of the prophets. And after the Ashabul Anbiya, Atba'us Sahaba, people who follow the Sahaba, or people who saw the Sahabas. You understand? So this is how the ranks goes on. And the verse continues by saying that qa'iman bil qist, meaning not all scholars, not all people who have the knowledge of the deen, but those qa'iman bil qist, those who stand firm on the justice of Allah, or who judge in jest, or who play in a role of justice. Not the people who deceive others, or the people who are not firm. Okay. And the verse continued by saying that He is the mighty and the wise. وقال قرطبي, and Imam Qurtubi made mention in his tafsir that هذه الآية دليل على فضل العلم وشرف العلماء. That this verse is what? Is a proof of what? Of the honor of knowledge and the honor of what? Of the ulama, that is the scholars. How Allah honored knowledge and honored what? The bearers of knowledge. And you continue by saying that فَإِنَّهُ لَوْ كَانَ أَحَدٌ أَشْرَفُ مِنَ الْعُلَمَاءِ لَقَرَنَهُمُ اللَّهُ بِإِسْمِهِ وَإِسْمِ مَلَائِكَتِهِ وَمَاذَا كَمَا قَرَنَ الْعُلَمَاءِ. That like if there was somebody more honorable or higher than what, or greater than the ulama, the scholars, in honor in the face of Allah, like Allah will have used their name beside the name of the what, or we will have used their name attached to the name of the angels, but rather Allah used the name of what? The scholars, meaning no one is above the scholars in honor. And in this verse, the hikmah here means that if you acquire the knowledge and you put the knowledge into practice and you stand firm in justice, then Allah Azza wa Jal will raise your rank. And it continues in another verse where Allah Azza wa Jal made mention to the prophets to seek for knowledge. And it is stated in the Quran that وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. And this verse is talking about how Allah honored knowledge. And Qurtubi in his tafsir made mention that لو كان شيء أشرف من العلم لأمر الله تعالى نبيه صلى الله عليه وسلم أن يسأله المزيد منه كما أمر أن يستزيده أو أن يستزيده من العلم. So that like if there was something greater than what? Knowledge in honor, like Allah will have what? Let me say, like Allah would like ordered the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to seek for him in increment in it, but he didn't what command Prophet to do that, but rather he commanded him to seek for him in increment in knowledge. So this shows that there is nothing above knowledge in honor in the face of Allah. So here Allah honored knowledge itself. Upon all the things in the world, Allah honored knowledge, and upon all the things in this world, Allah honored the bearers of what? Knowledge. And in some of the hadiths, and Muawiyah narrated a hadith that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that man yuridillaha bihi khayran yufaqihu fi din, that if Allah Azza wa Jal wants good or mercy or glad tidings for somebody or for his servant, that yufaqihu fi din, that he what? Grant him the knowledge of the deen. Meaning, if Allah Azza wa Jal wants glad tidings or good things upon you or good favors upon you, that he will what? He will grant you the knowledge of the deen. So if you don't have the knowledge of the deen, then Allah Azza wa Jal don't want good for you, meaning you are not being favored by God. So the knowledge, the people who acquire the knowledge or the people who seek for the knowledge of the deen, Allah Azza wa Jal honored them and he makes things easier for them. كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في الحديث, like the Prophet made mention in the hadith. And Abi Huraira is the one who collected this hadith, saying that قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من سلك طريقا يلتمس فيه علما سهل الله له به طريقا إلى الجنة. That if someone, that Allah Azza wa Jal, if Allah is what? That Allah, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that if Allah makes the way to the Jannah, or Allah makes the way to Jannah easy for those people who embark on the journey of seeking knowledge, meaning those who want to seek the knowledge of the deen, Allah will what? Make the way for them to Jannah easier. So this is how Allah Azza wa Jal honored the people of knowledge. And again, among the virtue of knowledge, it is being stated again in one of the hadiths which was being narrated in Tirmizi and Abu Dawood by Abu Darda or Abi Darda, that the Prophet ﷺ said that man salaka tariqan. This hadith is a long hadith. The place that I want is where he said that wa innal ulama warasatul anbiya, that indeed the scholars have inherited the messengers. وَإِنَّ الْأَنْبِيَاءَ لَمْ يُوَرِّثُوا دِينَارًا وَلَا دِرْهَمًا, that and these prophets, indeed the prophets, they don't inherit from them dinar, that is money, and they don't inherit from them dirham, that is another form of money. So meaning they don't inherit wealth from the prophet, lakin aw innama yuwarrithul ilm, they rather inherit knowledge from the prophets. So if you acquire the knowledge of the deen, you have inherited the prophets. May Allah grant us the knowledge of the deen. And the book continued by saying that wa huwa ma'rifatullah, that it is the awareness, this knowledge that we are talking about, it is the awareness of Allah. Wa ma'rifatu nabiyhi. Now the awareness of Allah, how then can we get the awareness or study about Allah? And they entered in the tafsir of this particular statement, huwa ma'rifatullah, by saying that أنه يجب على المسلم والمسلمة أن يعرف كل واحد ربه بذاته وصفاته وأفعاله، كما قال الله سبحانه وتعالى ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير. It is being stated here that this knowledge, that it is obligated upon each and every Muslim man and Muslim woman to know, each and every single person to know about his Lord, from what? From his what? From his sifat, that is his what? His attributes, and from his af'al, and the things that he created, and the things that he did, or the things that he do, or his capabilities. So if you know that Allah is capable of what? Doing everything, it is part of the knowledge of Allah. If you know that Allah is having what? Attributes, meaning the attributes of Allah cannot be attributed to any other person except Allah alone. No one can be the omnipresent, and no one can be the omnipotent, and no one can be the most merciful and the most wise and all knowing. You get it? So if these attributes of Allah, you get to understand that Allah is having attributes, and you get to know that Allah is having names, Asma'illah al-Husna. He's having names that are specifically attributed to him, and the bearers of these names who are not God, they are rather the servants of him. So when you see someone bearing the name of Rahman, you can't call him here, hey Rahman, no, call him Abdul Rahman. This is how the aqidah, the belief of Muslims, and the what, and the faith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu goes. That's Islam. You cannot just mention or call somebody Rahman, Rahim, no. Attached to the name Abdul Rahman, meaning the servant of what? The most merciful. And it is stated again in this knowledge that وأن يعرف العبد بأن الله تبارك وتعالى هو خالقه ورازقه والمتصرف في الأمور أو في الأمر. So, and this is also trying to explain to us this. We already made mention of all these things in the previous lecture, that is about the Tawheed. When you take the Tawheed al-Uluhiyya, Tawheed al-Rububiyya, and Tawheed al-Asma'i wa Sifat, it was been mentioned there, and it was been explained perfectly. We will no more explain this into detail. And it continued by saying that وَأَنْ يُؤْمِنُ بِأَنَّ اللَّهَ لَهُ الْأَسْمَاءِ الْحُسْنَى. Again, they are still bringing the same thing about what we made mention earlier. And this brought us to a place where the ulama stated that knowledge is having two particular gates. Al-ilmu aw ma'rifa, knowing Allah. Al-ma'rifatu babani wasi'ani. That knowing of Allah is having two gates. Babani wasi'ani. These two gates that have been mentioned by the scholars, that knowledge of Allah or awareness of Allah comes with what? Two knowledge or two broad sections. And these two broad sections are what? Looking at his what? Effects. Looking at Allah effects. What is the impact of Allah? That is what they call what? An-nazar fi maf'ulat. Nazar fi maf'ulatihi. That looking, or what? Let me say, observing the effects of Allah upon all of us. What is the effect of Allah? The effect of Allah in your life. You have to know that there is Allah is having an impact in your life. Your creator. He is the reason you are alive. He is the reason you are what? You are losing and gaining. They are all the test of Allah. So you have to know that it is Allah who is in control. And again we have at-tafakkur fil ayatihi, or tafakkur fi ayatihi wa tadabburiha. This one is what we call contemplating and giving thoughts about what Allah Azza wa Jal brought to us. That is the ayah of Allah Azza wa Jal. When they talk about ayah, I would like to conclude with this particular thing. When they talk about ayah comes in two ways. We have ayatul tanziliyah, and we have ayatul al-kawni. Ayatul tanziliyah and ayatul kawni, when Allah Azza wa Jal made mention in the Quran that وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا. This ayah, the verse of the Quran, He said, min anfusikum, from us, azwaja, spouses, wives, husbands. So the ayah here is the what? Is the spouse. That is what we call ayat al what? Ayatu tanzili, ayatu kauni, because you can truly see that there are women and there are men who marry each other. So this one is what we can see with our own eyes. You understand? And again, too, Allah made mention in the Quran that fi lawh al-mahfuz, that the Quran was in what? Lawh al-mahfuz. We cannot see lawh al-mahfuz. This one is ayatu tanziliya. Ayat tanziliya. You understand? And Allah made mention that the first masjid, the first house of Allah to be built, lallati bi Bakkah al-Mukarrama, that it is the what? The Makkah, that is Bakkah. Makkah is still the term for Bakkah. That Makkah, the first house of Allah to be built, is Makkah. Fihi ayatun bayinat, that in it there are what? A lot of verses, a lot of what? Ayat, signs, a lot of signs that are what? Clear signs. And the tafsir al-Quran bil Quran continued by saying that Maqam Ibrahim. Maqam Ibrahim, when you go to Hajj, there is a portion where they said Ibrahim, when he was building the house of Kaaba, when he was building it, he used to come and stand in a particular place and take a look at it to know that whether the corners are what being shaped well. And this place, due to what the intense way of standing and what the long pass of duration in stand, the sand was so hot to the extent that it printed the footsteps of what? Ibrahim there. So when you go there, you truly see the footsteps of what? Ibrahim. Those are ayat al-bayinat. And again, it is being stated about Surah al-Kahf, the Kahf, the people of the cave. When you come to Urdun or you go to Jordan, you will truly know that there is what? The cave of what? The people of what? The cave. That is what? Kahf. So these are ayat al-what? Kawni and ayat tanzili. I just want to make this thing clear so that people will be aware of these differences in the ayah, in the verses, or in the signs of Allah Azza wa Jal. And it is being stated again that وَمَعْرِفَةُ نَبِيِّهِ, and knowing Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And this Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, أن تعرف أو أن يعرف العبد نبي الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو محمد بن عبد الله بن عبد المطلب بن هاشم أو بن قصي بن كلاب وهذا. It goes on in the lineage of what? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So knowing Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the son of what? Abdullah is also the son of Abdul Muttalib, and they were all what? They were all Quraysh, from the what? The people of Quraysh. So knowing Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, not only that, وَمَعْرِفَةُ, knowing that Prophet Muhammad ja'a bihi al-huda, he came with guidance from Allah Azza wa Jal, and he also ja'a bid-din al-Islam, he also came with what? The religion of Islam, and he came with the Quran. And his religion, after Prophet came with this religion, any other person who don't want to collect the religion of Prophet becomes a kafir. Even the people who were already following Prophet Musa, Prophet Isa, after Prophet came, they have to leave that and come and follow Prophet Muhammad, because each and every generation have a prophet, and the prophet comes, they all comes in what? In the same message, and you have to follow the current prophet and believe in the rest of the prophets. So if you follow in the what? In the forefathers, or in the prophets who came before the Prophet sallallahu, and you deny Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, then you are a kafir. So this is what? Knowing Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And it continues by saying وَمَعْرِفَةُ دِينِ الْإِسْلَامِ بِالْأَدِلَّةِ, and knowing the knowledge of Islam with proofs. Knowledge of Islam, al-Islam بمعنى العام هو أن تعبد الله, that is what? Knowing Allah or what? Worshipping Allah. That is worshipping Allah. Bima shara'a mundu, what he made clear, or he legislated upon us since the beginning of what? Time, and since the beginning of what? His sending of messengers. And all the messengers who came before Prophet Muhammad, they all came in what? In Islam. They all came bearing Islam and what? Spreading Islam. And Islam is being stated in the Quran by saying that Prophet Ibrahim, he is the one who said, Rabbana waj'alna muslimayni laka wa min zurriyatina ummatan muslimatan lak. Prophet Ibrahim, he also came with Islam, and he even prayed that may Allah make us from what? Muslim, the believers, and may Allah make our what? Our lineage Muslims. This is the reason why he is called Abul Anbiya, because his lineage is the lineage of the prophets. His dua is being accepted. So when they say Ma'na al-Am of Islam, it contains all what? All the religions, all the prophets who came, it combines all of them. But when they say Ma'na al-Islam khas, privately, or takhsis, specifically to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is the new Sharia that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam brought, and we should stop everything and follow that and that alone. Inshallah, the next time that we are going to continue the book, we will be studying at Al-Amalu Bihi, the second matter, the second issue. May Allah grant us beneficial knowledge and the understanding of the deen. وجزاكم الله خير وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم.